Comics, a gateway to many strange concepts and radical ideas that I feel like couldn't work anywhere else. Anything from strange superpowers to strange places and even stranger stories. The beauty of the comic book medium is being able to embrace these very unconventional topics with open arms without feeling out of place. Hi, my name is Grifter, and today I'm going to be doing a deep dive into one of the strangest comic book events I've ever read. Written by Steve Orlando and Gerard Way, yes, My Chemical Romance Gerard Way. This is the DC Comics Justice League and Doom Patrol crossover event, Milk Wars. This is a large collaborative project, so I will list all the writers, artists, colorists, and letterers in the description of the video. Please support the creators. Now I know your first thought is probably along the lines of, milk? Why the hell is there a war over milk? Let me explain, silly little watcher. I will preface by saying there is some context missing, because this is technically a follow-up to the first 2 volumes of Gerard Way's Doom Patrol run, which already explains the weird factor. It all starts with a company named Retcon. As you can probably tell by the name, their whole goal is to rewrite reality and make money doing so. Their Trojan horse? Milk, of course. The Doom Patrol kind of phase through the fabric of reality and end up into an unassuming neighborhood. The group is chasing a rocket from Retcon which led them there, and they decided to give Danny, the sentient ambulance, a break and go around to investigate. They go into someone's home and instantly see that things are off. There's milk spilled everywhere, and in the dining room they discover a very odd, grotesque creature with udders. You may also be wondering, how is the Justice League involved in all of this? You see, the Justice League has been manipulated using the milk created by Retcon, and they have been transformed into a sort of 60s-esque nuclear family kind of community with superpowers. They don the name of, and I quote, the Community League of Rhode Island. The League consists of Vixen, Black Canary, the Atom, the Ray, Killer Frost, and it even has their own Lobo, who is the Community Watch. They do, of course, have their own Superman-adjacent character as well, but don't get it twisted. This isn't Superman. He was created by Retcon as a sort of clone of Superman, and he goes by the name of the, Milkman Man. No, I'm not joking. Anyway, this entire conflict starts because the citizens of the neighborhood are thrown off by the presence of the Doom Patrol, and of course with any evil corporation, they hate people that are different. They have their big psychedelic superhero fight, and the League is broken out of their spell through the Doom Patrol member Crazy Jane using her telepathy. They all manage to break out of the spell except one person, the Milkman Man. Casey, who is a Doom Patrol member and a literal character from a comic book, learns that Milkman Man is her and Terry's, her female roommate's, son. He learns that his entire life is a lie and becomes divided on his feelings. Everything he knew was fake, and his reality is broken in front of his eyes. And naturally, like a drunk driver heading towards multi-lane traffic, he crashed out and fled the scene, bringing an end to the conflict, at least for the time being. A mysterious eyeball drone appears in front of the team, and there is an SOS message that is played. In this SOS message, Cave talks about how he and Swamp Thing have found the headquarters of Retcon and need a call to arms. We are introduced to Violet Page, otherwise known as Mother Panic. She's haunted by the spirits of her past and decides to go confront them at their place of origin. Once she gets there, she instantly realizes something is off. This once abandoned potential Spirit Halloween franchisee is now refurbished and even newer than you. She heads inside and is instantly confused by the matter. She also realizes that she can't even swear, as if an automatic censor was placed over her words. She is then quickly apprehended by the, Holy Sidekick Choir of Merciful Justice? Okay, who the hell at Retcon is writing this shit? Oh, f***. It's happening to me too. Shit. 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 Back to what I was saying. Mother Panic is taken by the choir to be blessed by somebody they call the Father. They walk into the middle of a church service with none other than Batman at the head of it all, or as Retcon like to put it, Father Bruce. Obviously, Batman's role here is to spread the gospel of the milk that Retcon has been controlling everybody with, along with the help of Mother Partake, who we will touch on again later. Father Bruce takes Violet into some sort of lab where he gathers volunteer children and turns them into more members of his choir. This then leads into a skewed retelling of Bruce's history involving milk, showing just how deep it digs into his psyche. Violet questions Bruce a little further about his feelings, and he gets a bit uneasy about it. Mother Partake, on the other hand, then tries to coerce her to give in again until Violet sees something. A little girl she recognizes, someone she has saved before. This then leads her to retaliating while Father Bruce continues to try to preach the good word of the milk. After some fighting, she grabs one of the children's guns and shoots, not at Father Bruce, but at Mother Partake. The mother shatters as if made of fine porcelain, and the spell is broken. Bruce and the kids leave the church and burn it down, never to torture another soul again. You'd think it'd be over, but this is just the beginning. Bruce meets with Violet and reveals that an SOS was sent out by Cave Carson. Bruce and Violet head out to investigate the matter and get sucked into the beacon, as well as Fennec Fox, one of the children they saved, to confront Retcon once and for all. After a chaotic first two chapters, we are now in the land of paradise with the final member of the Trinity, Wonder Woman, or with Retcon's given name, Wonder Wife. She is in charge of the Hall of Justice, now transformed into the Hall of Moms. Somewhat of a utopia if you ask her. We are introduced to the Shade Force, who all basically act like Power Rangers of hormonal imbalance. There are 5 members in this group, all representing emotions: happy, angry, sadness, love, and fear. The main member, Happy, also known as Shade, is just going on about her day and is just feeling off. She starts to question herself a bit and realize there are other things she is feeling beyond her duties. She encounters one of those SOS message drones, but brushes it off until it eventually locks eyes with her as she is putting away her cleaning equipment. Afterwards, she sits down for, you guessed it, more milk to drown away her sorrows. She's watching her favorite show with her favorite actress, Rita Farr, also known as Elastigirl, a member of the Doom Patrol. Shade starts to get a sort of hallucinogenic experience and starts to feel different emotions she's never had before. Of course, her concerns are mostly brushed off, but she goes on with the team to fulfill her duties. On their way out, they catch a strange door that looks off. Strange energies seeping out like a portal to unspeakable horrors. Shade takes a peek and sees the drone again, and takes some sort of psychedelic awakening to everything she feels. She starts seeing more and more stuff nobody else does, and realizes that her cycle is just the same all the time. Shade does her job like normal until they all gather again. Shade tries to break Wonder Wife out of her spell, and it works momentarily until she reverts back because of angry. She opens a container of her Bubberware to discover the drone has been hiding in there, and it shows a reflection of the true person within. She flinches in fear, and Shade tries to catch it before Wonder Wife interferes. Wonder Wife is clearly upset and pulls an Undertaker on Shade and chokeslams her into a wall. A crack is formed within their reality where the real Wonder Woman is peeking out. The other emotions try to stop Shade, but she dives further, splitting it apart. She sees through the eyes of the drone and becomes whole with the other emotions. Of course, again, the Wonder Wife is unhappy and has a short-lived fight with Shade. Shade reawakens her and restores her true memory and breaks the brainwashing of the White Nectar. Shade and Wonder Woman finally come together and answer the call of the drone, and join the fight against Retcon. Next, we are taken into an office space. Of course, it's not your run-of-the-mill neighborhood dismantling BlackRock office. It's the good old reality-bending office of Retcon. We are now following Cave Carson, who we know from earlier is working with Swamp Thing. He's working with his daughter Chloe, and their friendly security guard, Jack, and Cave isn't feeling so well. They all take their lunch break and another drone runs amok and causes chaos in the break room. Like an enraged vegan, Cave then starts to raid all the food and eat all the leafy greens he can muster. He then proceeds to vomit a spectacular array of vines, who is of course revealed to be the Swamp Thing himself, shortly after ripping a milk-filled person apart. He helps heal Chloe and Jack from the milk affliction, and they join the mission against Retcon. This massive HR nightmare triggers the rest of the office, and they go on the offensive against the team. Swamp Thing and Jack stay back to fend off these milk-obsessed fiends, while Cave and Chloe make their escape. While they look for supplies, they encounter one of the many retcon offices. Cave discovers a sort of mission statement propaganda video playing on a pile of CRT television screens. The video depicts a borderline blasphemous video of Rita Farr as a newfound savior. Chloe snoops around and finds out these collectible figures aren't so innocent. Meanwhile, Cave discovers the real goal of what retcon is doing. Before being overwhelmed, Swamp Thing swoops in to save the day. Of course, it couldn't be that easy, as Jack is made anew as an evil wild dog, who also brought his team, the Growlers. After a quick fight, Jack is revealed to be influenced by his new mask and wakes up back to his senses. The team now reunited, they make their way into the Human Resources Division to find the captives that retcon is holding hostage. Swamp Thing is overwhelmed with desperate cries, and he takes the team on a psychic journey to feel what he feels. They all witness the agony and pain of these captives, and they all work together to sever the captives' connection to retcon, and they are freed. But now they must find a way out. They take the bodies that retcon has kept and turn it into a fertilizer bomb. They blow a hole into the side of the building and make their escape, all except for Cave, who stays behind to hold back the monsters of retcon's creation. He quickly surrenders with intentions to meet their leader. His fate, time will only tell. This is it, the final chapter. We finally get to see Rita Farr, the spearhead of this entire event, in a gruesome biblical scene. Meanwhile, Cave Carson is being held hostage and is being interrogated by the Milkman Man. The Milkman Man realizes he has nothing to lose, even if his life was a lie. He is now a soldier of retcon and is more aggressive than before. Cave's eye is on its way back. It finally arrives and unleashes the pure power of comic book fuckery, and releases everyone that has been stored in the eye. A whole army of heroes, ready to dismantle the totalitarian reality warping company to the ground. The heroes all fight with the Milkman Man and try to change his ways to no avail. Meanwhile, Lord MangaCon is dealing with his business with retcon. Things are starting to fall apart on their deal and are not looking good. Rita is quite literally being crucified and all hope seems to fade. The fight rages on between Milkman Man, his backup, and the heroes. Casey starts to try and defuse the situation by reasoning with Milkman Man as one of his two mothers. On the business side of things, the deal is being shaken up and is starting to get desperate. Lord MangaCon is being asked to intervene at the price of getting Prime Earth for free. We are taking a Rita's perspective yet again, where she starts to break her spell. She is relearning what it is to be her. Casey continues to show Milkman Man who he truly is while the conflict continues in the background. At the end of the day, the deal falls through and retcon loses their client, as the company and all they've built continues to crumble, like the fall of a psychedelic nightmare Roman Empire. Casey finally convinces Milkman Man to join with her. Meanwhile, the retcon employees have pulled out their final trick, a complete reset. All is not lost, however. Rita finally regains her consciousness and stretches beyond her own body. With reality being erased before their eyes, the team now rushes to devise a plan to save it. A very ambitious plan is formed between Flex Mentallo, who is another Doom Patrol member, Vixen, and Crazy Jane. They all begin their borderline fetishistic plan and begin inflating. All their minds linked for a single cause. Rita and reality start to reform and take shape. Things aren't the way they were, but they remain nonetheless. A new reality is born again, and Rita returns in her original form. All the heroes are united, having restored the world in a fresh state, with a team ready to conquer all that lies ahead. Thus is the end of the Milk Wars. Well, there you have it. Weird stories like this are what continue to keep me enticed with comics, and are what makes them so great. Comics as a medium are so experimental, almost to a degree that most other mediums don't want to risk. I hope you all continue this adventure with me and spread the love of comics with people in your lives. There's so many stories that fly under the radar, but deserve so much love. This has been my one-shot on the DC Comics Justice League and Doom Patrol crossover event, The Milk Wars, and I'll see you all in the next video.